everyone, and welcome back to Caught Lookin. This is episode 4, and we've got a great show lined up tonight. Sadly, Ash is out sick tonight, so we're going to miss her. But we have a great show still with myself and Allie and Sarah, and we're excited to welcome Kelsey to her very first episode. Yay!
Hi.
So let's dive in. How about them guards?
How about them guards? Okay, so let me preface this episode with a little stat here. So, the largest deficit ever overcome to win an MLB division pennant was 15 games by the 1914 Boston Braves and 1978 Yankees. So, seeing as the Tigers led by as much as 15 and a half games, if we were to take that division, that would make it statistically the largest divisional comeback in MLB history and the largest divisional collapse in MLB history. So we got a lot to look forward to this next series,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yes, I think it was honestly seeing the pitching come together like that for me was really, I don't know, something it reminded me of last year just to have the support from starting pitching. I actually screenshotted all of the starting lineup. So Slade went 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, and 0 earned runs. Logan had a career high 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, and 0 earned runs. And then Tanner, he went 6 with 4 hits and 1 earned run. And it's like to win a Screwball start is just that was honestly like
Mhm.
that's all I really care about is because I didn't think that we were going to win most of the games, but to win that game specifically, it's like such a good feeling for the clubhouse, I'm sure, but like for me as a fan.
Well, and it's huge to win the first Scooble start because we have another one coming up Tuesday, I think.
Yeah,
And now
they
you can afford to lose that one. I mean, you'd rather not, but it's not
Yeah.
the end of the world if you do. So I think that last week was just huge.
Yeah, I don't I think I have a feeling the guys are going to be treating especially this series against Detroit as basically a mini wild card series. I think they're going to go into it thinking this is the playoffs. This is we need this is all must win from here on out. I do not think they're going to take any of this lightly. But yeah, being able to see the offense actually, I mean, they didn't really come alive against Scooble, but being able to do anything against him is a plus, a win. So,
We got more than a single hit off of him. So honestly, I call that a win. So
Well,
Well,
now we face them on short rest, so can we do it again?
hmm
Maybe.
well, that is actually a really good point that you make, Allie, because I spoke with friend of the show at CDL Enthusiast or Nick, and he made a really good point that I saved in my notes that Scooball tends to do worse with less rest. He has a 2.72 ERA with 4 days of rest this year and a 2.01 with 5 days of rest. And in his career, 3.93 ERA with 4 days of rest, 2.62 with 5 days of rest. So if you get him on short rest, his ERA really jumps and he goes one less inning as well. With 4 days of rest, he goes 5 innings per game, but with 5 days of rest, he tends to go 6 plus. So catching him on short rest could be really good, especially since their bullpen is kind of gassed from the Braves series, and we
hmm
saved ours in the doubleheader by only using 4 pitchers, which that was like miraculous in itself. I was so happy that our bullpen did not get super taxed from the doubleheader. As we know, our doubleheaders don't tend to go very well for us. So
Well, this is
that was
the
nice.
first time we've swept a doubleheader since 2000 and what, 21?
23.
since
I thought it
23.
2022 against the Twins, I
Okay.
actually have that in
Yes.
my
Thank you.
notes.
yes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
saw
like,
And
I
that
that's
knew
as
it
the
was.
well.
first doubleheader shutout we've had
Mhm.
since 1964.
I saw that as well. I did not know that.
That's crazy, man. Yes,
Well, that's
absolutely.
we
Our
have good pitching.
starters,
We've always
yeah.
had good pitching. So that's weird to me that it's been so long. But hey, why
It's
not?
I
That's
feel like
cool.
for the double headers, it's always been a a bad offensive game.
Yeah.
Like, because there was
Hmm.
always at least one game where they were just kind of thrown in the towel.
They
Like,
punt one game.
yeah,
Yes.
it's the
We won
doubleheader
a
punt.
game good
Like,
enough.
yeah, that's how it how it has felt for a while now that like, okay, we're gonna lose a doubleheader. But yeah, to only use four pitchers, insane. Absolutely. I'm sure the bullpen was, you know, patting backs and giving hugs on Saturday night after all of that. Saying thanks for saving us, guys. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited for this Tiger series. This is gonna be a fun one.
I'm
Yeah, and
nervous.
we face Scooble game one, don't we?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But no, going back to that point that you made, Kelsey, about Scooble and his short rest, I think how you have to tackle those games is that you just have to try to drive his pitch count up because you want to get to the bullpen as fast as you can. And so even though, he's such a good pitcher, you need to put up quality at bats and you need to just make him throw the ball and, like I said, just get to that bullpen as fast as you can. So if he is going to be a bit more shaky on short rest, then that just kind of helps our case even more, especially being at home too. I think the home
Hmm.
crowd will definitely be a factor, I'm hoping. So it'll be really, really interesting to see if we can, continue to see that success against him and to prove that he is indeed human pitching against Cleveland.
It's just a shame that we don't have Lane.
I
I do
know
miss him so
we
much.
don't have Lane to get in his head.
I hope
Hopefully,
Lane can
hopefully,
be there in spirit.
Yeah.
yes.
Or in real life, just put him in the
Yeah,
dugout. Maybe
I
his
know.
He
presence
can
will be
hang.
intimidating enough.
Give him a
Get him
Yeah.
on
suite or something.
FaceTime on the iPad and just stand him up on the dugout.
Robot Lane.
Well, that is like a good point though, because couldn't remember if it was the Tigers broadcast or not, but they were like, "Oh, a rare show of emotion from Tarek Skubal," and I really disagree with that point because I
Every time I
feel
see
like
this
he
man, he's
is,
showing him.
yeah, I think it's actually really easy to get in his head in particular. I've not seen a lot of pitchers who are so outwardly vocal about like how they feel about a call or giving up a home run, like he did over this weekend, I think, when he gave up the one to John Kenzie, right?
Hmm.
And
Great
I
home run
think
call, by
I
the way.
Oh
yeah,
my
oh my
God.
yes. I
That's
think he went like this and he was he put his arms up and he was really upset. And I think that's what they were referencing when they said rare show of emotion. So I agree, if you get his pitch count up, even if you don't do like anything productive in those first few innings, if you just frustrate him enough, I feel like he starts to get a
I
little
wonder if
weird.
his show of emotion is rare because he is so good and he never
gets
becomes
flustered.
unraveled, and then when he does, he can't contain it. Because I don't watch him pitch outside of when he pitches against us, but I mean, he was pretty emotional in the postseason. Obviously, when we beat him last year, the start we just now beat him this year. So I think that rare show of emotion must be more about he rarely has reason to show emotion. So
Yeah.
we'll see about that.
He wants to be Corey Kluber so bad.
Don't we all?
It was whenever Corey Kluber would crack a smile, it would make headlines.
Truly.
I loved that about him.
I would love to know because he's still hanging out. He's still in the dugout with us. So I would love to know if he is still that stoic, stone face guy or if he's lightened up in his old age.
Is Corey
Honestly, I
Kluber,
totally forgot that he was still with us
Right?
in the
I keep
dugout.
forgetting about
Admittedly,
it.
is he in line to follow Carl Willis, do we think? Is that why he's here?
Well, considering Carl Willis was up at like 3 a.m. texting, what was it
Joey
Joey or was it
Cantillo?
Slade?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joey.
Still thinking about his game from the other week. I honestly don't think Carl Willis is retiring anytime soon.
That
I
is
sure
so
hope
me.
not.
I was also up at 3 in the morning thinking about these games. Just amazed.
Right?
Carl Willis just like us.
Truly. Truly. That's yeah, that old man is I think he's going to be around for a while, but I for one would love to see Coach Kluber be his uh successor. That I
yeah,
don't
and
think
it
there's anyone better that could fill his shoes because
right,
that
and I
man,
really hope that he's kind of serving as a mentor to these young guys like Messick and Cantillo in this six-man rotation. So, it makes me wonder too, what is he telling these guys? Because something must be working there. So it's really cool to have a mentor like Corey Kluber in the clubhouse with them.
hmm
So I definitely think that I like to think that he has definitely helped us out in that regard too. But man, speaking of the six-man rotation though, this stat is from Codify, and it's a list of the runs allowed in the last 18 games. Number one is the Guardians at 28 runs allowed in the last 18 games.
And
The
this is not
second
including
fewest,
today's game, by the way. This
Yeah.
is
this does not include today's game,
yeah,
correct? But
Sunday's
the
game.
second lowest behind them are the Cubs at 65.
That gap is
Look at that
insane.
disparity. 28 runs compared to the second least at 65 over the last 18 games prior to this one.
Well, I'm kind of glad that today was a little bit of a dud because that wasn't going to hold forever. And at least we kind of let one go in a game that hopefully is less consequential than every other game we have coming up.
And
Right.
for
I'd
my
rather
twins,
that happen in this game than, in the Detroit series. So if they can just kind
yes.
of get that out of their system and just regroup for this week, then I'm okay with that because we didn't lose ground today.
And for my twins friends, I'm not. I was talking to Shayla a little bit because she was going to the games. This was their last home game of the season too. So I'm not like absolutely devastated that we lost this one as much as I would be another game. I'm kind of glad that my twins friends got to see a winner and got to see a. I was at a kid's birthday party, so was it a grand slam that Royce
No,
hit
it was a
or
Royce Lewis 3-run home
three
run.
runs? Okay.
So, I mean, I agree. You have to put up a stinker. There is no way for this to continue. Uh,
I mean, I would argue that this wasn't a stinker. They just got
yes.
us today. Like,
Yeah. It
because
was
we
actually
only
the Stephen
lost.
Kwan first pitch home run. I was like, okay,
Yes. Yeah.
we're back. This is great. But
Somebody
yeah.
tweeted today, I'm sorry, this is so funny. Somebody tweeted today that it took Stephen Kwan one pitch to outscore the Cleveland Browns in 3 quarters of football. And I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That is very
So
funny.
only this my husband and I were talking about this later or after all the games. Only one Cleveland team can win at a time. It's
Yes.
just the Browns only have one game a week.
And that's
So
perfect because I mean, we've got what, 6 more games before they play. We're good.
yeah,
We're good.
we're gonna be fine. They can also punt next week. I absolutely don't care.
They can
They're
punt every week.
they true. They can. But yeah, that was so another thing that I wanted to bring up that a bunch of people last night were retweeting from July 4th in a post-game interview. Slade Ciccone is quoted as saying, I'm really looking forward to at the end of the season when we look back at this 8-game skid and go, man, remember how tough that was? Remember how we got through it? We're going to see ourselves in a great spot at the end of the season. I fully believe it. All right, so maybe we were lying about Brian Rocchio being our Etsy witch, and I think Slade Ciccone might be our Etsy witch because
I I remember when I first saw that quote because I remember seeing it the day he said it. And in that moment, I was like, maybe this man's delusional, but I needed to hear that. Like, I don't know
I
if he
remember
meant
you
it, and I
saying
think
that.
he did meant I really think he meant it. I think he saw
oh
things
yeah.
maybe that he believed in, but as a fan, I did not believe in this team in the slightest. And I don't that was so comforting. That quote was the birth of Slade Ciccone as my emotional support pitcher because it was like he knew exactly what I needed to hear in the midst of a terrible stretch of baseball. And for him to be right, like wow, what a guy that Slade Ciccone.
So I highly recommend. This is from C. Ossenheimer, Heimer. Chris Ossenheimer, CT, is the one who posted this original quote back on July 4th. So I highly recommend you go and look at all of the replies from July 4th
Oh no.
because everybody is so pissed at this. Um, are they all just drinking the same moonshine as Vote and Antonetti? Drugs kill, delusional.
Always.
Well, I give him credit for believing in his team, but unfortunately, from what we've seen lately, I don't see that happening. Yeah, like there are some people who are like, yes, I believe him. Let's do it. But the vast majority of people, there's the top one is this post was deleted by post authors.
I see three that say post deleted by post author, and it's like you gotta stick with it. If you're gonna say it,
Yeah. Own
come
it.
on.
You
Own
gotta,
your
yeah,
words.
you gotta stand by
I'm
it,
coming
man.
back later after I bookmarked it, and I'm gonna say something two
Yeah.
months later.
Just retweet it and be like, you know what, guys? I was wrong.
Yes.
Slade was
No,
right and I was wrong.
it's definitely great to have a clubhouse guy like that though, because I think last year that was probably Josh Naylor's role. I know
Hmm.
he was very much like that too. I definitely got the feeling that he was a hype man. And so losing him, I think you could kind of tell early in the season how it affected these guys because we didn't really have that we didn't have a Naylor or a Jimenez earlier in the season. And I think they were super important pieces in like those late game comebacks that we saw all the time last year. And, Naylor especially, he's the most emotional guy. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. And so I think losing him definitely hurt us both offensively and it just hurt, with confidence too. And so to have a guy like Slade come in and kind of take that over, I love that. He's kind of taken up the mantle a little bit. And so if he's going to be the clubhouse guy that motivates the team like that, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, I love Josh Naylor, but that's a good trade. Good work, Chris Antonetti. I like that one.
I miss him greatly. That trade was definitely personally targeted towards me as well as Andres Jimenez. But I love Bo coming in, especially these past couple weeks, and really kind of becoming that dog. Like I would love to see him kind of take his brother's place. And you need a guy on your team that's kind of crazy, who's got, like who will hit his helmet, really hard, and he'll have that emotion. I think Bo could do that. And I've noticed that in Jose a lot recently. Like he's always frustrated when he does something wrong, or he'll get mad if he strikes out like he did today. He struck out on a high fastball in Sunday's game against the Twins, and he was frustrated. It's like you need someone like that who, even if like the game is not close or whatever, like he cares. He cares about everything. Like when he ran through first base in the
Yes.
doubleheader with two outs that started the rally. It's like if he didn't do that, if he just kind of got out and was like, "Oh, didn't run fast enough," that wouldn't have happened. Like you need these young guys and you need Jose to create this clubhouse that we have that I feel like is really unique. And maybe it's just because I'm a Cleveland fan, but our clubhouse is so unique. It's really the power of friendship, in my opinion. And I love it. I love seeing having like young guys and some older guys like mesh really well together.
Every year they really just seem like that they genuinely like hanging out together, that they genuinely are friends, and that they have their little text groups and they all talk to each other and they all like, and it's not like sure, like I'm sure there are like little cliques that form within the clubhouse, but like I think any like five guys could just stand up and go to dinner together and they would all have a blast together. They just seem like, and like I said, I feel like this every year that regardless of who's in that clubhouse, there is something about the way that I don't know what it is. I don't know what Cleveland is doing specifically. I don't know if the coaches, I don't know if it's the front office. I don't know who it is, but I feel like there is an unspoken kind of feel culture built baked into that team that when you become a Cleveland Guardian, you just understand what is expected of you. And maybe it's Jose, maybe it's because of who he is and the standard that he sets for everybody. Um, it
This
just
might be a
it's
hot take. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, 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 no. Go ahead. I'm just babbling.
This might be a hot take, but I do think that we started to see that culture shift in the clubhouse shortly after Ortiz and Clase.
Hmm.
Because when that happened, I don't know how the players reacted internally, but I honestly think that it looks like the team kind of came together after that. Because when it happened, these are two really good pitchers. Ortiz was pitching well. Clase was he wasn't pitching the greatest, but he was still Clase. So I think at the time, we looked at it in the sense that we lost two of our best pitchers and we didn't know what was going to happen. But I think since then, that's kind of when the team kind of started to shift. You know, when we had that 10-game skid, that was around that time. And so I think I like to think that maybe, once they kind of cleared his locker out, maybe that's when they started to really come together and be like, guys, we're not going to let this deter us. This is just a bump in the road and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. So I've thought about that, ever since this happened. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not a blessing in disguise, but maybe it's something good. A silver lining that came out of this was that I think we did start to see that shift in the clubhouse since then. So I think that might be a factor, but I don't know. Could be a hot take, but it's just something I've thought about ever
Um,
since.
Zach Meisel put out an article in The Athletic earlier this week, maybe, about Jose Ramirez, just everything about him. And I think this goes back to Meg's point, and it was about truly how he is the star of this team, but he goes out of his way to make sure everyone in the locker room feels welcome and is friends with everybody. And he never acts like he's too good to hang out with any guy on that in the locker room, whether they're a rookie or if he just met him or if they speak a different language. So I think you're right, Meg. I think that having a leader that wants to establish that chemistry is so huge, and we're so lucky that he's the guy that we built our team around. And I doubt anyone will ever come out and say it, Sarah, but I wonder if those suspensions happening kind of lit something up in him. Like, okay, these are my guys. Those guys are gone. These are the people we have now, and we got to come together and try to make something of this season.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe that I got. And going back to your point, Allie, too, about Jose, I was just having this conversation with my family, and the fact that Jose Ramirez is obviously a superstar, but I think in all successful Cleveland baseball teams we've seen, there's no divas, there's no egos that we see in this clubhouse. And I think Jose is just a hallmark of that because here's a guy who is literally one of the best players we'll ever see in our lives. He's a generational player, but everybody knows him to just be the most humblest guy, a great leader, always trying to help out, the younger players too. So, and that's just been a thing with all of our teams in the past. You don't have those big egos. You don't have those super flashy players. And so I think that also plays a part in the team culture we build too. I think it's just a very humble atmosphere that they make. And, because of that, there's no big personalities. I think that makes the younger guys more comfortable in, stepping up. So,
Um, and speaking of no divas, I'm gonna highlight potentially diva behavior, but Kelsey had mentioned the emergence of Bo Naylor. I want to circle back to that day that Bo Naylor committed an error on a play that should have ended the inning, and then Tanner Bybee proceeded to give up a few runs and came into the dugout and started yelling, "Do your job," in more colorful language to no one in particular, but it felt to me like it was pointed at Bo Naylor. And I don't bring this up to put down either guy. I think that really ended up being a pivotal moment in the season. We've been playing much better since then, but I want Bo Naylor's splits since that moment because did that spawn Bo Timber or Septembo or whatever the people are
September.
calling it? Because he's been really important, and I think that that was kind of a pivotal moment. I kind of want to go back and I don't know, see what that meant for this team.
Someone did, and granted, I have lost the tweet to time at this point, but somebody did call out and earmark that game and checked our stats, like our just general kind of win-loss type stuff since that time. And we are well over 500 since that moment. I can't, like I said, I can't remember exactly what the tweet was or where who brought it out, but yeah, somebody did go back and they were like, there's a marked change in the way that this team has been performing
And so
since
maybe
that
we
moment.
have just the right amount of diva
yeah,
because
like
that
obviously
maybe we needed that from Tanner
it can't
Bybee.
be all sunshine and rainbows and kumbaya. Like
Mm.
you still need emotion and you still need to what's the word I'm looking for? You still need to show that passion, and sometimes you're going
Hmm.
to have to, yell a little bit and get angry if that's going to light the fire under them. So I think it's absolutely necessary, but But yeah, like we all know it's done so out of love for each other. So
Yeah, at the end of the day, every guy in that dugout wants to win. Like that's every guy is there to win and to hopefully, God willing, knock on all the wood, one day, maybe this year, win a World Series. And they know that that is what is looming behind them in the shadows, that this long standing, the longest ever World Series drought is the one, it just hovering behind them at all times. Um, I know that none of them are unaware of that, and I know that they all probably take it very personally and want to be on the team that finally erases that drought. Um, not a ton of guys were here for I mean, well, at this point it's only Jose, I think, who was here for the Cavs 2016 one, and he was still a baby at that point, wasn't he?
Hmm.
So
yeah, I
that
think he was only 4 years into the league because I think. Wait, no, did he debut in 2011, Jose, or
I
was it?
thought you were gonna say he was 4 years old. I was like, okay. That's
Yeah,
18-year-old
like Jose was by no means a veteran in 2016, but and he wasn't a rookie either. So I think he was only yeah,
2013 he was promoted to the
okay, that's what
majors.
I
Oh,
thought. So yeah, he was only like
yeah.
what, three,
Yeah.
4 years into the league at
He
that time.
absolutely
So
was not the name that he is now. He wasn't that guy in the clubhouse yet, um,
yeah, for sure.
at that point.
I mean, if we let him retire without getting him a ring, like I don't know if I could ever forgive myself just as a fan. Like I would be willing to donate money to Progressive Fields if it meant that like he could get a,
Don't
you
let the Dolans know that.
know,
Don't.
no,
Don't put that out there.
I will do it. I mean, I already paid for tickets to Wednesday's game, so I'm giving you lots of money. I will give you more money if we can get another catcher or something. I love Austin Hedges very much, and I
He's
know
gonna
this
coach
is
soon. Don't worry.
I actually when during the doubleheader when Bo obviously had to rest, I was like, I cannot believe we are going from Bo Naylor, who has like 11 RBIs in 5 games, and I have to watch Austin Hedges
You get to watch Austin Hedges, ma'am.
He's the
So good at
leader.
bunting,
He's
though.
the leader in sacrifice bunts for the team, which I'm pretty sure that Matt
There's
Underwood
nothing
said
wrong with
as a
that.
good statistic. He was like saying that as a good thing, and my husband was like, I don't think that's a good statistic that you should be reading out like that. The leader of sacrifice bunts for the team. And it does have its place. I think
It
it's very
does.
important. But if Bo Naylor was there, it could maybe have hit the ball. Love Austin Hedges to death, though. And everyone told me I was wrong, anyways, because he did end up corralling Logan Allen and giving him a career high 8 innings pitched and 0 earned runs. So obviously, Austin Hedges calling a game is extremely important when, Bo's bat may make up for some of his defensive errors or game calling. They both have their spots. I do miss David Fry, though. I did like him behind the plate as well. It feels like eons since seeing David
Right.
Fry
Oh
make
my
any sort of
God.
defensive
I mean,
maneuvers.
I still fully believe that getting David Fry back is going to change the way that this team performs. I mean, that couple month stretch at the beginning of the 2024 season when Fry was at full health and Vogt was just tossing him around the field. I think there was a game where he did not play the same position both innings, like back-to-back innings. I can't remember exactly how many positions he played, but he played at least, half the field at that
And that
point.
that might be a hot take. I love a super utility man.
Yes.
I love not knowing who's in right field. Like sometimes I like seeing different people at first. Like I like when Schneeman is like somewhere else in the field. I'm like, okay, cool. Like it's just fun and it gives the younger guys a lot of opportunities to play in different spots and figure out where they can go. Where if it's like if you go play for the Yankees, they're like, oh well, we don't have anywhere to really put you. It's like you have to fit a puzzle piece like in a very specific place. Whereas like we have so much ability to move, like Rocchio going, from short to second or whatever, and like Arias coming back up. That's done so much for the team because Arias has really, really come around. I remember having a lot of trouble with him when he was kind of having his attitude issues when he was sent down, and I kind of gave up on him. And when he came back up, that was just really exciting. And I love seeing Rokio do better as well. And I feel like that's probably part of it, having somebody else in his corner. Because I know that losing Andres was probably just like soul crushing. So it's
Yeah.
nice to see like the infield have that movement, but also like still some stability, like knowing that Jose is over there and Rokio or Arias are over there on that side is really nice. But I like seeing different people at first and then right and stuff. It's always nice to see the younger guys get some playtime.
Yeah, and I think now in, this major stretch that we're starting to see those positions more solidified. So like Rocchio has been regularly playing second and Arias has been regularly playing shortstop, which I think that kind of consistency is so important in, this important postseason run. So, because I know before, they were like guys like Schneemann too, like they were just playing them everywhere. And I forget who had made the point, but someone said, could this kind of deter the team having them constantly flip-flopping positions? Could this be a team deterrent or something? And so it made you think. And so I'm kind of glad that we're seeing more consistency in these positions too. And, Manzardo at first too, I think he can he can perform a little better in my opinion, but I think he at least needs that experience too.
The
So,
double plays that Arias and Rokio have been doing too are like circus acts. So definitely having that stability there, like it gives them the ability to make those crazy double plays and
Hmm.
relays and stuff that are just like, I don't know, watching them do anything or Jose do anything from third is it's just like, I don't know, I'm always awestruck at their defense. It's so great.
Building that chemistry together, being able to know where your counterpart is going to be before they're there is incredibly important. I mean, we saw it last year with Rocchio and Jimenez. They knew where the other one was going to be before the other one was there.
Hmm.
So that stability is definitely, obviously, super helpful in building that chemistry in those relationships. But I will say having the flexibility, especially later in the season, really helps for pinch hitting opportunities. Like being able to pull a guy, like right now, you pull a guy for, David Fry to pinch, and you immediately have to pull Fry again because he's not running, he's not staying in the field. So you wasted two guys now. You are now two guys off the bench who you cannot use anymore. So the ability to have Fry back next year, along with Schneemann and whoever else, the ability to put them sub them out for virtually anybody on that field as a pinch hitting opportunity, a pitch hitting threat, is just invaluable late in games, especially late in the year. So I'm excited to see where we go next year, but I'm also excited to see where we go this year.
Yeah, I have actually good stats from my friend Nick again. He's really good with stats because I am not. And he brought up a bunch of pitches that Scooball will throw. And he said that, Quan, Noel, Angel, and Jose are all really good against changeups like Scooballs that he throws. And then the high velo fastballs that Scooball throws. Again, you see Noel and Schneemann and Hedges and Angel are very good, which, John Kenzie, he's always a really good pinch hit opportunity because if he blasts the ball, like it's blasted. It's nice to see him and as well as like Angel is really good at with running and stuff, so he can be a good pinch runner. But I think he said also that Scooball's going to be the only left-handed pitcher for these three games. So I think that's important to keep in mind too, because seeing Scooball again, you obviously have to play John Kenzie at some point because he's the one that got to him last game. And I'm excited to see the lineup that they do end up because I don't like, are they going to keep Petey? I don't really know how much playtime he'll get once they come home. I'm really happy that he got called up though, and I'm excited, but I don't
I
really
mean,
know a whole
Lane's
lot about him.
not Lane.
no.
Noel, he's basically almost done for the season being put on the 10-day IL, right?
Nolan. Nolan was
Oh,
put on the
yeah,
10
Nolan.
day.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
I was gonna
that's
say,
who
wait a
that's
minute,
Did
did
I
I
say?
miss something?
No,
that's who
sorry.
Petey came up for. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I assume is I think that they're gonna keep him. It's just like to me that's such an interesting move to bring up a guy and you're like trying to make a postseason run and you're like, okay, you're not going to play the first in the doubleheader, but we're going to bring you in and go have fun. And then I think he pinch hit today as well. I mean, and he had a hit. I mean, he did really well, and he withstood the pressure. But it just feels I don't know interesting. I wouldn't be able to handle the pressure. I wouldn't want to be going up for like my first week of MLB hitting and defense, trying to get into the postseason for the team. But I hope that he's in the lineup. I think it would be really interesting.
Yeah, I think that shows the level of confidence that the organization has in him, being willing to call him up at this point in the season. And to see him just kind of like take it by the reins, and he immediately got a hit in his first MLB game. I think he's not going to have a problem with the pressure, and I really hope that's the case. But yeah, I think the organization having that confidence in you, hopefully that'll. Sorry, I literally just like lost my train of thought. I'm reading my notes
Well,
at the same
it's
time.
it's like similar with Parker, like bringing up Messick. It's like, oh my God, like so late in the season, just like, and I felt the same way with Cantillo. Like I really pull for these newer pitchers because they're thrown into such a difficult situation, like with what we were mentioning with Class A and stuff being investigated. Like they literally are like not coming back for the entire year, and these guys are just getting thrown into it. And now we're making a postseason run. And I actually saved Parker's stats. So he's pitched 34.2 innings, 5 walks, 31 strikeouts, and has a 2.08 ERA. That's across 6 starts since being called up. And I mean, that's just phenomenal. Like to have that kind of ability and like trusting that calling up somebody late is actually possibly a good decision. Like it just feels like for this organization specifically, they always are really good at kind of making those calls. And same with George Valera. He's been so fun to watch. I've never been like nervous about seeing any of the younger guys come up because I'm always really rooting for them and they always surprise me and are often really doing well in these high pressure situations. So I'm excited to go see it in person because I'm going to go to Wednesday's game and then I'm going to go see the Cubs and Mets play in Chicago the next day. So I'm going to go see a big market team after seeing the small market teams play.
That should be fun. So you're going to Chicago, is that what you said?
Yeah, so
Oh, that'll be
the
fun.
Mets obviously have something to play for because they're tied. I believe at this moment of recording, they're tied with the Reds, or the Reds may have actually gone into the wild card spot.
I believe similar to us, they're tied, but the Reds have that tiebreaker,
Okay.
so the
Yeah.
Mets are out right
So
now.
the Cubs obviously don't have anything to play for unless they are like wanting to decide who they might possibly meet up with later on. So it'll be really interesting because it's like when you think about the Mets, you think about like the massive payroll and like the names of the people that you'll see. So I'm just I'm excited to see not only the actual field and stuff. I've never been. It's Wrigley, right? I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay,
Yeah.
so I always get them mixed
I'm
up.
gonna admit I didn't want to say it at first because I'm like, is it Wrigley? I'm
I know.
like
I
double
always,
guessing
I'm always
myself
like,
now.
I'm gonna
Yes,
get
the Cubs play at
yelled at.
Wrigley.
So I've never been there, and I've never seen. I don't think I've seen the Mets play since Juan Soto has gone over there. So I'm really interested to see what it's like to see a big market team with something to play for versus 23 hours before seeing two small market teams duke it out for a wild card spot.
No, the central title.
Yes.
That's what they're
Well,
duking it out for.
I know. I'm dreaming smaller. I know that the division is like that. It's in our grasp, but I'm honestly just hoping to be involved. Like I'm not gonna set my hopes too high.
I'm just
And
happy to
that's
be
on
here.
being a
Mhm.
Cleveland fan.
Literally, like I don't even care about the World Series. I'm just happy to be involved. If I can have an October to remember and I can go see a baseball game in October, I'm having a good time.
Right. It's like just make the playoffs, man.
Yes.
Whether it's a division or just a wild
Yeah.
card, like just get in the postseason.
As long as it's not playing the Yankees. I don't want to go and watch the Yankees play us in a wild card or anything because it's just never fun. It's never interesting. It makes me very sad. I would watch anything else, please.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't want to meet up with the Yankees in anything.
It always
I,
happens.
And we still don't really have like the best idea regarding matchups right now, since the Blue Jays were the only AL team that have clinched a playoff spot thus far. I mean, we have no idea who these matchups are going to be. So that's seeing all that shake out in the next week is going to be super interesting too.
Well, and it's so fun that all these teams play each other. I mean, we play the Tigers. I think the Tigers end with the Red Sox,
They do.
if I'm not wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So there's just a lot of mess to be created and cleaned up in the last week of baseball.
the
It's
schedule
gonna get
makers
messy.
knew what they were doing,
I
apparently.
know.
They looked into the future and cackled to themselves madly as they paired up all of these last couple of weeks. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
actually crazy how this schedule is playing out.
truly, truly, we literally hold our own destiny in our hands right now. Like we just need to win. If we win, we're fine.
Yeah, all the pressure's on Detroit. So I think the division is ours to lose.
Agreed.
I agree with that. And I think even though we lost today, they also lost today on Sunday, the 21st. And they have, I don't believe, won a game since last Sunday.
That almost
So,
stresses me out a little bit. I
yeah.
mean, we need them to lose,
Yeah.
but how long are they going to keep doing that?
Well, I think with, like we've said, our clubhouse strength, I don't know what's going on in their clubhouse, but
It doesn't
I
sound
can't
good.
imagine that it's good. I don't think that they have like the resiliency that we do as a clubhouse. Like they're division rivals, so I know, like Torkelson and Gleyber Torres. Like I know their players. I know who they are, at least who they present during the games, and I just can't really imagine them having like a heart to heart or like like the come to Jesus moment that we probably have had with like Jose at the center and the young guys kind of being like, yes, let's work together and figure this out. So, I mean, I don't think the free fall is going to last, but I'm hopeful that we just take it more seriously and we just are having more fun
Mhm.
playing baseball. Even if we lose, we're having more fun. And
I
I
would
think that's
love
important.
Yeah, I would love to hear another fan's perspective on their clubhouse because I've always thought that as a Guardians fan. Like, it's so easy to root for this team and these guys because they just are fun and they seem like they love each other and they're just like nice boys who like to have fun playing baseball with their friends. And how can you not root for that? Um,
I will never
if your team doesn't have
understand.
that chemistry, I can't relate.
Honestly, I don't understand how you cannot how people can hate them. They're just sweet little boys.
You should go on
Oh, trust me,
twitter.com.
the thing Shayla and Greta are constantly
Yes.
in my mentions and calling them domestic terrorists. I'm like,
Yes, I
have you
saw
seen these sweet little boys? They're adorable and just they're precious little babies. Stop calling them domestic terrorists.
terrorists, and it's just Kyle Manzardo in a cosplay holding a lightsaber. Like, I don't know, man. I can't imagine seeing Aaron Judge doing something similar, being posted on Twitter all the time, wearing Jedi fare and holding a lightsaber. I think that would probably get to him. But I feel like Kyle probably knows about that, and I think that he probably really likes that and takes that to heart.
I do know for a fact that if I were a fan of any other team and we had to play the Guardians, I would probably hate them just as much.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, and going back to the earlier point about, not really knowing Detroit's clubhouse, we don't know the personalities of those guys. We don't know what goes on there. And so yeah, I don't know what the vibes are like there, but hopefully they will continue that free fall, but man, I don't know.
I mean, if
But
it's
yeah, the
anything
Guardians are
like
just so cute because like we know their personalities and we know what goes on in the clubhouse. So
I say
I
if
don't
it
know.
was
There's no
anything
telling.
if it's anything like Tiger's Twitter, they are all melting down right now and crying and listening to sad songs, it seems.
Well, and being at home, I honestly forgot that they were on a road trip. And I think they went like 6-1. It was kind of a long one. And so just I hope that all the games will be sold out. I know that it's a weekday and it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Don't go
So
to work, just like go watch
it's
baseball
after
instead.
work. It's after
Yeah,
work. It's the
exactly.
kids that fall.
Okay.
They have school the next day. That I
Don't go
think
to school.
Stephen Vogt was after the loss. He was interviewed and he was like, "We really like the guys are ready. We really want Progressive to be full. Like, please, please come. Like, I know it's kids' school nights. Like, they got to go to bed, but like, we really need you guys there. Like, we're ready. We know what's at stake. Like, we want Progressive to be full. So."
They're gonna
I've
get good
I'm
crowds.
doing my part. I bought tickets. I'll
Good.
be there.
I skipped school a time or two to attend a baseball game, and those are some of the best memories I have. So you should let your kids miss school to go to these games, is all I'm saying.
I'm the only one in this group, I believe, who is old enough to remember 95 and 97. Um, and so I was 10 and 12 at that point. And when I tell you, granted, the Browns were gone there, so there was a void to fill in the city, and the Indians did just, I truly cannot tell you what it was like to walk around and see everybody in tribe gear, everybody with red, white, and blue plastered all over them. My school would have dress down days. I went to a private Catholic school, so we wore uniforms. But every single Friday during September, October, November, during that whole run, we had dress down days on Fridays to celebrate the tribe and to root for them. We wrote letters to the team to tell them how much we loved them and how much we wanted them to win. We and I'm fairly certain now, my mother never took me out of school to go see a baseball game, but there were kids who did get taken out of school to go see the baseball games. And the way that this city came around and supported them is something like I've never seen before. And I hope that we can bring that again. I I'm not local, obviously. I'm not in Cleveland, but I could feel it in 2016 with the Cavs. I could feel the way that the city kind of rallied around them and got excited about it. So I hope that this week the city can get up and get there. I don't foresee, since it is a midweek game, hopefully Detroit fans will not be making the trip. So that there'll probably be a couple people there, but since it's not a weekend, no one's really going to be taking a weekend trip for it.
Actually,
Um,
there's the weather's actually going to be really crappy too. Tuesday, 70% or 90% chance of rain on Tuesday,
oh shit.
55% chance on Wednesday, and 80% on Thursday.
Guys, we can't have this rained out.
That would be
That would be
literally
devastating.
the worst thing that could possibly happen because we do not need rain delays or rainouts. We don't need that. We all know that that is not good for us. And the high will be 73 on all those days with a low of 66. So the temperature looks like it'll be fine, but we're actually it's storming here right now. And so it seems like the weather is going to have possibly a drastic change that could affect the games played and when they may be scheduled.
I mean,
No.
hopefully the rain will be during the day or in the morning or something. That's at least all we can hope for. But I do think the turnout, though, will be really good because Cleveland fans do show up and show out in high leverage games. Even at the last game I was at, I think last week or the week before when I was there with Michaela, it was a Wednesday game and it was still a really good crowd they had. I was actually very surprised. So I think now in this division battle, I really think that those seats are going to be filled. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping to go to one of those games too, and I hope it's not the one if it is going to rain both those days. I hope I at least pick the one that it's not going to rain at.
Yeah, I agree. I think the word's out. I think normal fans have probably gotten the idea. So I'm very hopeful. I think it'll go well, but I just am I don't know. I'm happy to even have this much meaningful baseball to end the season, whatever happens. It was really fun to just watch the 10 games that we had and really enjoy ourselves just in the hopeful sense. I think it's like even having an opportunity, I feel like I probably gave up like kind of after the All-Star break. I remember being like, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel good.
Yeah,
So
there was a time that I wasn't really watching the games only because yeah, it was a rough stretch and I was like, I could probably be doing something else by now. And I regret that, obviously, but I think a lot of people felt the same way. But Slade was right. I mean, looking back on that now, we're like, we were silly.
Really quick before we move on to the next thing, I just wanted to mention that also Daniel Espino going back onto the field and getting out there, regardless of what he threw, even though he did 21 pitches, 15 strikes, hitting 96 to 98. I think he did 3 runs allowed over 2/3 of an inning with 1 strikeout. So not the best game, but him just getting up there and throwing a pitch for the first time since 2002. Wait,
22.
22?
2002.
2002.
That's incredible.
I need more twos. 2022. Is that correct? Like early
I believe that's what
22?
I saw also, yeah.
yeah, that sounds correct. I
Yeah.
think one of my friends said that my son was not alive for his. He's like, wow, Teddy did not witness Espino pitching. He's
Putting it
here.
into
Yeah.
perspective of your kids' ages is
Yes.
always terrifying to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean my child wasn't
Yeah.
alive for this?
I was like,
My child's
You're right."
always existed.
I was like, he was born at just the right time to witness it once again.
Oh. But yes, shout out to Espino. So hopefully we will see more from him and success in the future. Uh, Moving on before we shut this down, let's go ahead. Sarah's got a couple extra Q&As from last week that we didn't get a chance to answer.
All right. Yeah. So we have a couple questions from the good people of Guardians Twitter. Some of these were from a couple weeks ago that we definitely wanted to make sure we got to on the podcast. So let's start with Ben Lively fan page asks, this will be a question for everyone. What's the most iconic game that you can remember that you attended at Progressive Field? Who wants to take it away?
So I haven't been to many because I moved out in 2007. I moved to Virginia. So I'll just put my normal one. June 21st, 2024, Pride Night, meeting Austin Hedges. That is now number one game. We won 7-run inning. Hedgie kicked off that rally um, against the Blue
Wait,
Jays.
he had a
So
hit?
he
I,
did.
oh
He
my
got a
God.
hit while I was in attendance. It was beautiful.
That's
But then
amazing.
he Quan got a hit after him, but Hedgie did not. It was like a fly, so Hedgie didn't run in time, but it dropped. So he got out at second, and it killed Quan's hit streak.
Oh, yes, I do
Yeah,
remember
it was like
that.
I can't remember
Oh,
exactly how long the hit streak was, but it was fairly
it was
impressive.
long. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so
I
he was bummed about that, but he did he did get a hit. He played well. He went through 4 jerseys. He was extraordinarily sweaty. It was a hot night.
I actually have a few. I go to a lot of games. I was at Down Goes Anderson, but
Yes.
Oh, you win.
I was very high up in the upper level at that time because my husband was in law school, and so we would just get like the really cheap tickets. So I don't even remember seeing what happened, and I just remember seeing everybody fighting, and then the delay was at least 20 minutes to decide like who was being ejected. And I was at the Oscar Gonzalez Yankees walk off. I can't even remember which. I think that wasn't the wild card. I don't think that was in 2023, but that was really great. And then I was also at the Blue Jays game last year where it was like the longest inning in history, like most pitches thrown, or like longest in time, where the Blue Jays had to throw like, I don't know, 80 pitches just to get out of the inning. Like their starter had to come out and they had to have like a few bullpen guys come in. And I do remember Austin Hedges had a hit in that game as well.
It may have been that same game. I think we were
Really?
talking about this, and it was.
I don't know.
All right,
I'll
well,
have to look at it.
real quick. Okay, so I'll go. I think the most iconic game I've been to is in June 2023. That was the 14 inning walk-off game against the Astros. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh. The game ended
Oh,
at like 11:30 p.m. It was also Pride Night, and it was also the night where I met a lot of people from Guardians Twitter for the first time. So it was just so much fun all around. And yeah, that game was just absolutely insane. The 14 innings, and then it was Will Brennan who hit that walk-off hit, which sealed
yes.
the deal. So that
I
was
do
that was a
remember that.
lot of fun. Oh my gosh. The vibes were crazy during that game.
That is actually funny. Meg and I are talking about the same game. It was June 21st, 2024, when the
Yep.
Guardians saw 70 pitches in the second inning, which was the most pitches for the Blue Jays in a frame in the 2024 season, and was the most by a team in one inning since 2014. That
That's
was
insane.
that is really funny
It
that we
was
were
a
talking
really
about the same
long
game.
inning.
It was really
I think
long.
they almost batted around twice or something like
Yes,
that.
yes,
It was absurd.
and yes, Hedges had like a double or something, and I was that I think that like you said, that started the rally, and I do recall that being like I was amazed, and it was a really good game.
Yeah, I remember watching that on TV. That was crazy. All
Were
right,
you
what
not
about you,
there,
Ellie?
Sarah?
Um, I went to one of the playoff games in 2016. I think it was an ALCS game. And I know we won it, but that was so long ago that I don't even remember how we won it. And I just remember that atmosphere being absolutely electric. But the most memorable game I've been to was probably the game in Cincinnati, I think last season, where a streaker ran onto the field. Or I guess he wasn't really a streaker, he was just a fan. But he ran onto the field, did a backflip, and then was tased. And I was sitting
Oh,
like,
I remember that.
yeah,
Yes.
I was sitting like 3 rows from the field, and I did not think that man was gonna get up. I don't even remember how that game ended, but I just remember seeing him flop around on the ground for a little
I
bit,
was
and
there when the
that was
Browns
insane.
jersey fans ran onto the field at Progressive
Oh yeah.
recently. I was at that. I took videos. I was like, "Don't worry, everybody, I'm here." And he actually like he got
Live on
away.
scene.
Yeah, he got away from security once, and then they like had to chase him down again. That I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. I just remember nobody was paying attention. I was like, "There's a man on the field," and then
That guy's
everybody.
not supposed to be
Yeah,
there.
that was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. All right, so moving on to a second question. John asks, I like this one. If you could steal one current player from any team right now, who would it be? Any
Cal
current
Raleigh.
player.
No offense.
I
I've
think
already
with the
made my
obvious exception of like Judge and Otani.
big dumper.
I think that's a
He,
good one.
I
I
like
mean,
it.
he should be MVP in my opinion, but maybe just because I'm a Judge hater. Like obviously Judge is going to win and he deserves it, but like what he's doing, what Cal's doing right now is like actually unprecedented, and I like his personality. I feel like he's kind of like an Austin Hedges type kind of guy. He lets everyone call him Big Dumper, so I feel like that he would probably fit in.
I think
Yeah.
Cal and Cal and Austin were in the off season before the 24 season. They hung out a little bit. Cal called him.
Mm.
Um, where was it? I have the article up. Raleigh got some help from an unexpected source. Guardians backstop Austin Hedges.
Oh
I
wow.
credit him for a lot of my success. There were a lot of things I did last year that I took right out of his playbook and put into my game.
Hmm. And now he's having the best season of his life. So interesting.
The
Oh.
Austin Hedges effect.
Sometimes correlation equals causation.
So I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit, and this is purely for vibes and because he is a Cleveland guy. But Spencer Strider.
I thought that's
Oh,
what you were gonna
yes.
say. Yeah, I love that too. That is,
I
it's a
saw people
hometown
posting
team.
the video,
The
the
pit,
photo of
yeah.
him with in
Yeah, it's
the
so
at
cute.
Progressive wearing an old Indians jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a
I
Kluber jersey, wasn't it?
Like we
I
said,
just saw the
everybody
front
wants
of
to be
it.
Kluber.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure it was a Kluber jersey. I love that
Oh,
guy.
Bring that man to Cleveland. He deserves to
yeah.
to learn under Corey Kluber. That man needs to come to Cleveland more than probably than anyone else, I feel like at this point.
Hear me
I
out. Bring him home. 7-man rotation next season.
No
So
bullpen.
someone
No bullpen.
no.
Unprecedented.
They're going 9. Every pitcher's going 9.
Dude, the thing is, if you told Bivey and Slade that they needed to go 9 every single game,
They're doing
they
it.
would die on that mound.
Tanner would pitch extras. You'd be like,
Yes.
getting him off of the mound is actually funny. Like, I respect it. I respect it,
It's
but it is
goofy
like,
now when Vogt goes out there.
yeah.
I'm like, is he? Is he just going to talk? is
The
I bet
fact that he
Tanner feels
convinces
that
him,
way
to come
too.
out?
Tanner's
crazy.
like, he's gonna let me stay this time. I just know it.
Yeah, maybe I can convince him. Like, get off the mound, bro. Go in that dugout.
Okay, so for this question, I overthink these questions, but I was trying to think like position wise. So if we're looking at say center field, I was thinking either Ronald Acuna or Kyle Tucker, and I was also thinking shortstop, Lindor or
Of course,
Bobby Witt.
yes.
Oh my
I think
gosh,
any one
yeah.
of those four. Obviously Lindor would be amazing.
Bringing him back would heal me in
I
ways
For
think
I
sure.
didn't know possible.
if Acuna's gonna come here, I need an apology video with tears for disrespecting my Gold Glove left fielder, Stephen
Oh, I
Kwan.
Yes.
remember that putting
Agree.
Yes,
the
I
Agree.
think about that
No.
every single time I hear Acuna's name.
That little
I still have a
smirk
grudge
and
against him.
putting him last, was it, in that stupid
Yes,
Oh
it
TikTok
yeah.
was
trend?
Yep. He put him dead last. I will never
No,
forget
sir.
that. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Acuna had posted, I think it was a TikTok.
This was like 2 or 3 years ago too now,
Yeah,
right?
this was when
This is a
Quan, I
while
think,
ago.
was still a rookie. And so he was rating MLB players. And Stephen Kwan came up. He kind of did a little smirk and a laugh, and he put Kwan dead last on his list. And so from that day, he has been on my shit list.
Good
Fair.
player, but on the shit list.
Mhm.
Agree.
Okay, Allie, did you answer this one?
I didn't answer this one, and I can't stop thinking about it from the perspective of what do we need? Um, and I can't, it's as crazy as it sounds, I want like another middle reliever. Like our bullpen somehow is tired and they don't even pitch. But I did ask the other day if Jacob Junis was still on the team, and it turns out he is, and he's very good and useful, so that's not what we need. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
Avila. Do you want Avila back? I love
Yeah,
Oh,
there's no reason
yes.
we don't have him back. Like nobody else has him.
He's
Where's
in
the innings
Japan.
eater. I know. I
Yeah,
miss
well, he doesn't
him.
need to be in Japan.
I
Get him
think
home.
like
Bring him
the
home.
kind of the reasoning that because he declined because they
Yeah.
DFA'd him, he declined the outright and so went into free agency. Thought I feel like I heard somewhere someone say that he wanted to try and be stretched out into a starter, and
Mm.
that's why he went overseas. I do not
Mm.
know the truth about that. I
Are
could
we
be
gonna Ben Lively
up.
him in a year or two?
I
That
would
would be
love to Ben
fun.
Lively him in a
Oh,
year or two.
Oh
Ooh.
my
saying
gosh,
that
Ben
name, that made me
Lively's back next
sad.
year, 8-man rotation.
Ben's coming back too. Yeah, I am also at the point. I'm like, "Ooh, where are we gonna put Ben?" Like, I need Ben back. We went over this last episode. Ben is one of my comfort players now.
Okay, we need a home run hitter, but I don't want it to be Aaron Judge. That's a bad take. I
Nope.
just Can I say Cal Raleigh? You guys already said that.
We can
Yeah,
double
for sure.
down.
Home run
We can-
hitter with a cool personality is what I want.
Jazz Chisholm.
Ooh, that's fun. I like that one.
we could save him because his aura has just dropped
It's like
after.
he's trying to bring aura to the Yankees, but they're an auraless team,
Yeah,
so
I was
it
about to
doesn't
say
fit.
Rizless, sauceless, no movement. The Yankees are washed and unk. It's not happening.
Dropping all the Gen Z insults. Oh,
Oh my
and
gosh, that's
chopped.
funny.
They're also
there we go.
chopped.
Chopped. No cap, bro.
Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this next question is from Chris, and he asks, which Guardian having a down year do you still believe in for next year and why?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
I think Tanner Bybee. Is that fair? Is he having a down year?
He was.
I would say,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would classify him as having a
Earlier
down
in
year.
the year for sure. I think he's been having some mind game troubles.
Yeah,
That's a
and
good
I don't
one.
really have a reason to believe in him other than I just believe in him. So that's my answer to that one, I
He
think.
believes in himself.
Hmm.
I definitely think Brian Rocchio.
That too.
I'm
Hmm.
I'm the one posting his address on Twitter, but I'm also the one saying that we need to build his statue. Brian Rocchio keeps me engaged and he keeps me watching. Sometimes the things he does are so completely unreliable that I'm like, I need him sent down to Columbus expeditiously. But then he does something, I'm like, okay, he's back. We're back. Everything's great. And I still believe that like he's got something worth fighting for. And I think that he will find it. He broke his skid. I think he was like 0 for 19 or 1 for 19 or something. And then he broke it against Tarek Skubal. He got a hit off of him. So it's like, obviously, there's something there. I don't know what is wrong. He just has like noodle arms when he is hitting. So I hope that he can find something there. But I love him.
That man is an enigma, and I mean that in the best way.
Truly. I agree.
But okay, so for this question, there were kind of two that came to mind. I'm a big Angel Martinez believer. I
Hmm.
do
Yep.
I do really like him. I think the guy is a hitter. I just think he needs to work on his plate approach,
Mm-hmm.
firstly,
Yep.
because he doesn't draw walks a lot. He doesn't see a lot of pitches for that matter, and he also kind of likes to swing outside the zone, kind of gives me Ahmed Rosario vibes, but he is still a young player, and I
Yeah.
do think that he is a pure hitter at heart.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs to work on, I think, the mental part. So I think just with more experience, I can see him being a really, really good player. So I'm still high on Martinez.
I
I
think
And
he loves
then,
the
agree.
game like Jose
Mhm.
too. Like
mhm.
he's a player. Like he truly loves it. Like I
Well,
see a lot
Yeah,
of
I mean,
Jose in
he
him.
follows Jose around everywhere.
Yeah.
He's
that's
his
what I was
shadow.
gonna say. And the fact that Jose really has embraced that makes me believe in him. And I don't know that that means he'll be the next Jose Ramirez. But if you're following Jose around, you're gonna
Yeah.
end up in a pretty good spot, I would think.
If
He
You're
he's
loves
gonna
the
learn a
game.
emulating
thing
him,
or
yeah.
two from Jose Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one I was thinking of is Tim Herron,
Oh,
because I think
Yes.
he started to bounce back the last prior to this last game where I think
yeah.
he had 2 earned runs. Prior to this last game, he was pitching really well. And so I think
Those
that
2 earned runs were given up. Was that one of the home runs today? Like he didn't, they were his
I
runs,
No,
or did he give
Royce
them
honestly
Lewis
up?
hit
don't
a
know because I was
3-run
not
homer.
watching at that point.
I think those 2 runs though were Heron's runners, and then Gaddis came in to pitch and gave up the home run. So I mean, they are
Mm.
his runs, but like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, but
uh,
circumstances
The
you
pitch
got in
have
that
the
not.
way
caused
of
them
that.
to,
But
yeah.
either way, I do believe in Tim Herron for next year. I
Good.
want to see more out of him.
I like Timmy as well.
Yeah. Tim's a good one.
What about
Um,
you, Meg?
this is just I like him and he's my kid's favorite player and I still believe that he can turn it around. John Kenzie Noel.
That was my other choice. Love him.
Yes, he's just he's got that power and he's got the ability to just, you know, turn the game on a dime when he's in that box and just that raw power. We have had so many big dudes with raw power come through that have just failed one after another. And I want him to work so bad. So I'm really hoping that he can figure it out and we can get him rolling for next year.
His
Hopefully,
stance
we'll
has
see
to
some
be,
postseason success from him too.
yeah, like
Yes.
last year. But his stance is probably one of the most uncomfortable, crazy batting stances I've ever seen.
I don't
And I
understand
love
it
it.
at
I
all.
think it is so amazing. I think standing almost backwards when you're going to hit is very frightening to the pitcher. I really like how
The
he
way
does
he
that.
keeps the bat like on his hip almost. It's
It's
crazy.
awesome. I've never seen that before. I think Rick and Matt were talking about it the other day. They're like, I've never seen a more uncomfortable looking batting stance. But if it works, I mean, when it does work, it works.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we'll get to one more here. Um, the pitching change rubber chicken on Twitter asks if you could bring back any retired Guardians player in their prime to play for this year's team, who would it be and why?
Jason Kipnis.
I love Kip.
Kip was, I mean, I'm 29, so I remember watching Kip's first game and being like, "Oh my God, yay!" when he got a hit. And I don't know. I really like him. I like his energy, and I like that he like came to the broadcast booth a couple of weeks ago and was just talking with Rick and
He's
Matt. And
great in the
yeah, like
booth. And
he's like
his
just a nice guy, and I
yeah.
think that he would be really good with this team in particular.
He did a during a pregame. It was him and Kaylee. Shout out Kaylee, by the way. Miss her, and I cannot wait to hear her on Cavs games. She
Yes.
did fantastic this summer. My
Yes.
God. Like I don't think I've ever like gushed about a reporter, an on-field reporter before, but my God, loved her.
And it was
Um,
hot. She did it. It was like
yes.
so hot when she was doing it too.
But her and Kip did a on-field pregame interview with Hedgie, which was really, really funny. And they were kind of like bro bonding over the fact that if they had played together, they would cause all sorts of
Yes.
ruckus.
I think he would fit in really well. And I
Yeah.
think that he would be a good addition for this postseason run that we're about to have.
That would be an iconic duo of Kip and
Oh
Hedgie.
my
Oh my
God.
God.
The hijinks, the shenanigans they would get into.
All right, so for this question, I think the first player I thought of was Travis Hafner. I
Oh,
was always just
Mm,
such a big Pronk fan. He was just
yes.
so fun to watch, and he's just the power hitter that we need. Either him or Grady Sizemore too.
I was literally
Uh,
just that's who I was thinking of. I'm
yeah.
like, we
Mm-hmm.
need a solid center fielder, and bringing prime uninjured Grady in would
Hmm.
fix this team in an instant.
100%.
I think I would bring back Mike Napoli. I'm not sure where he's playing, but what a vibes guy.
If he can,
Party at Napoli's. Oh
hell
my
yeah.
gosh. I think I
Again,
still have that t-shirt.
another absolute, just the hijinks him and Austin would get up to would cause chaos in that clubhouse more than I'm sure there already is with just Austin alone. All right. Well, I think we're going to call that a wrap on episode 4 of Caught Looking. Thank you, Allie, Sarah, and Kelsey for joining me tonight. Also, shout out to Ash. Hope you feel better, and hopefully, we'll be hearing from you soon. Thanks to all of you for listening and supporting us as we keep this podcast rolling. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media accounts at Caught Looking Clee and subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. Whether you're here for the hot takes, heartbreaks, or home runs, don't get caught looking. Thanks, guys. Go Guards.
Go Guards.
Go Guards.